Alright guys, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 6. Today we're going to have the Ferrari FXX K going against the McLaren P1. First up, it will be the Ferrari FXX K. So this here is the Ferrari FXX K. It comes with 1036 brake horsepower and 664 pounds-foot of torque. This is a car I've never actually driven that much before, so it will be interesting to see how it performs. There's actually quite a lot of wheel spin coming off the line and the gears are incredibly short. But the sound of this vehicle is absolutely amazing. This thing sounds fucking unreal, so it does. Like, we're already up in the 5th gear, travelling around about 130 miles per hour. This car is phenomenal. Of course it only weighs about, 2,800 pounds, so it is incredibly light. And with all that power, I expect a very high top speed. Also, the steering is very, very light and responsive. Oh, understeer, right, okay. That air can be quite problematic with this car, all the power, shit. Forgot which track setup I selected. We'll just forget that happened. But because this car has so much power, it can be quite aggressive and can actually bite back at you if you put down too much power. Which is unfortunate. You kind of want a more balanced car, but of course, if you were driving this car in real life, you would get a lot more of a feel for it. However, playing it in Forza Motorsport, you don't get much of a feel for it, and you can easily and quite simply make mistakes if you put down too much power. But it does feel quite solid and stable throughout all these corners, so I'm actually quite enjoying driving this car. These gear ratios are so short, it is unreal. Like, you're only doing about 130, 140 miles per hour and you're up in the, 5th gear. Like, that's phenomenal. It just shows that this car is built predominantly for track use. However, I actually believe that this car is only for track use. This car is not road legal in any way. But it is absolutely amazing. And it is incredibly effective at going through these corners. But it is actually quite an easy car to drive, even though it has over 1000 brake horsepower. So even if you are like a novice user and you're looking for a car that's a hell of a lot of fun to drive, definitely the Ferrari FXX K. You can have a lot of fun with it. Just don't like the name, it's quite hard to say, especially early in the morning. Too many X's. But at the end of the second lap, we're coming across with a 146.304. That's not that bad. It's not exactly good either. But considering I rarely ever get to drive this car, I actually think that was quite a good result. And we won a number 98 12C GT3. So all is good. But now, it'll be the turn of the P1 GTR. Okay guys, so here's the P1 GTR. If you know anything about this car, you will know that it does have 986 brake horsepower and 738 pounds-foot of torque. However, this car actually weighs more than the FXX K. So I have a feeling that the FXX will be faster. But of course this car is actually a full-on race car, and I believe it does compete in numerous GT races. However, I didn't see it at Le Mans, so I don't know what category this thing actually falls into, but it is quite interesting, and it sounds absolutely amazing. One of the nicest sounding McLarens in my opinion. But with these short gear ratios, they rev fast and they rev high, and this car is no exception. Revs all the way out to about 8,000 RPM. I had to slow down slightly, messed up that corner. Went into it with too much speed. Even here, whenever you start to put some power down, you can actually feel the front end start to get pulled around, which is actually nice. It feels stable and it feels planted. First lap, we're already on target for beating the FXX. This car is just miles easier to drive, it really is. Oh, understeered. Jesus. And Forza still say that's a perfect turn, fucking hell. But this thing actually feels faster throughout the corners, and it feels a lot more alive than the FXX. Yeah, okay, the FXX will get sideways at every opportunity, but this car is alive and it's planted, and it is incredibly effective. I've never really driven this car, and I'm actually having a hell of a lot of fun with it. This is phenomenal, it really is. Of course, last race I won the number 98 12C GT3, and before that this was my only McLaren, so I don't really pay much attention to them, which is strange because I actually quite like McLarens. It's just whenever the P1 was added into the game, I found it near impossible to drive. You know, coming in with 903 brake horsepower, it just felt too alive, too tail happy, and just quite a handful to drive. But this P1 GTR corrects all of the issues that I've found with the P1 and makes it such an amazing platform to drive. Oh, understeering again. Oh, fuck, wall. Oh, Jesus Christ. That wall started coming quite fast. But at the end of the second lap, we're coming across with a 144. That's unreal, actually. This car weighs 300 pounds more and has, let's say, 24... has like 60 less horsepower. So it has 60 less horsepower and weighs 300 pounds more, and it's 2 seconds faster. Once you actually get used to both of these cars, you can have so much fucking fun. Both of them were amazing on track. It's just maybe I was a wee bit more accustomed to the way that the P1 handled, in the sense that there was understeer instead of oversteer. Whereas the FXX, you got a wee bit of understeer, you try to correct it, you were sideways. It's more fun. It feels more alive in the sense that you can kick the back end out, but whenever you actually carry more speed, I believe that the P1 feels like a much better car, and I had so much fun driving it. But guys, as you can see, there's not much in it between these two cars. Both of them are quite expensive in game. I think they're over 1 million credits or something like that there. Both of them come with a ridiculously high amount of horsepower. They're amazing. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.